is Connor Mitchell, and we're sitting here at the Accelerate Game Changers Investor Summit in Bergen, and I'm sitting here with
Silje,
the creator of the Accelerate Game Changers Conference. So tell me more about why Game Changers?
I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, and I'm also an investor, and I think I've been sitting on both sides of the table. As an entrepreneur, I became an entrepreneur in the very early days when no one even spoke about being entrepreneurs, and the word entrepreneur was, something my neighbors didn't know, my parents didn't know. They thought it was crazy for not just getting a job. But over the past 10 years, a lot of things have happened in Norway, where we've seen Norway going from a very immature society of at least the new wave of innovation entrepreneurship. Still a lot of oil, fish, gas, and real estate, but very little of the more technology innovation. To 10 years after I started my first company, a very, very thriving ecosystem of great talents, great companies, a lot of amazing stuff happening. A lot of seed capital, but no growth capital, or very little growth capital. So my whole vision behind kickstarting Accelerate is that if Norway is going to find the new oil, so to speak, oil is going to run out. We need to find our new sources of income for this country, and that comes from entrepreneurs. We have the entrepreneurs, but we're not going to get the money and the capital and the scale-ups, the growth companies that will feed money back to the economy unless we have the capital to support them. So we need to get into the next phase, and that's it's about moving away from the $1 million fundraising to talking about serious money, serious scaling, building serious businesses with a lot of employees and good returns.
Makes sense. A lot of the amazing companies here today are also looking for that. So I think you've definitely pinpointed a need. And I think they're finding it here. Most of them that I've spoke with have had conversations with investors, and they're going well. So what would you say is the next step for after this success?
So this event was put together in 2.5 months. It was extremely fast. I knew, I started working on this in the beginning of August, to be honest, and so that's fast, and it's been a tiny team. So I would rather rephrase it as say, okay, we managed to do this in 2.5 months, bring together about 70 companies that are handpicked by investors as interesting scale-ups. We have about 60 funds present, national funds plus Horizons Ventures with their full investment team. We managed to do that in 2.5 months. If we have 10 months, a year, to plan the next summit, imagine what that can be. And maybe we shouldn't just think Norway. Maybe we should think Scandinavia or the Nordics and say that we need to let's create this into a regional space to connect capital funds from national funds and international funds with the most interesting scale-ups. That's the plan. That's the ambition.
Amazing. Why do you think international funds, aside from the money that they can bring, why do you think they're so important for scale-ups in Norway?
The sad truth is that you have I would actually say that we don't have any real VC funds in Norway. We have very few. We have some seed funds. We have one larger governmental fund, but we don't really have a VC community. Sweden has much more VCs than we have. If you look to Berlin, you'll find others, but investing in startups or scale-ups, you need experience to do that. You need to pick the right companies, how to work with the companies. The companies need experienced capital. They need more than just money. They need network. They need access. They need to get out there, and the investors need experience to be able to pick the right companies. So on the one hand, I would say that the Norwegian companies or the Scandinavian companies, Nordic companies, they need the capital with the knowledge, with the experience, with the networks. That comes mostly from abroad.
Got it.
On the other hand, we need to unleash national capital because it's not like Norway doesn't have enough capital. I mean, we're one of the richest countries in the world, but our money is poured towards oil, fish, gas, real estate. And we need to start pouring that money towards innovation and new companies. And then the question is, I think one of the points is triggering the money to think that maybe I should look at different asset classes than what I've been looking at before. And the other thing is, for them to be good investors, they need to learn how to invest. And that comes with building the networks. Either maybe their way of investing is putting the money into one of these international funds. Maybe the way of investing is starting your own fund, but your strategy is simply to follow international funds, and you learn through experience over time. Maybe you play around with some money, but I think most people that start investing without experience need to understand that it's high risk, and you know, if you don't invest in your team of investors, of people with access, with knowledge, then your investments are going to probably fail at a larger rate than what's normal.
Yeah. So, speaking to that understanding, what do you think international investors don't understand yet about Norway?
I think they don't know Norway. What do people know about Norway? They know about the oil. They know about Norwegian salmon. They know that it's someplace up north.
A bit rainy.
A bit rainy, that too. And good nature. I think like it's a tourist destination and increasing to an increasing degree. But as a startup nation or an innovation destination or investment destination, I think very few investors are looking to Norway. It's not just I know very few investors are looking to Norway. And I think if you said, 5-10 years ago, I think it was, it would probably have been a waste of time to spend a lot of effort on Norway. But now it's different, and it's worth focusing on Norway because there's a lot of good companies at the moment. But the companies are also super cheap because we don't have a mature venture community, right? So it's less competition for the investments.
Yeah, and you make it sound like such a no-brainer sell because, yeah, there is so much incredible opportunity here. And in 2.5 months to pull together an event like this, you mentioned 60 funds. That's unbelievable. So
thank you.
The conversations have been going well, I'm assuming. People are seeing what you're describing.
Yes, and this was. In many ways, it was an experiment. It was an opportunity that came with the fact that Horizons Ventures chose to host their annual Tech Cracker in Norway, and that gave me some. That gave me like a momentum that would be hard to just create yourself without a lot more effort. So the fact that Horizons came here made it very attractive for companies to apply to pitch to Horizons, which again made it very attractive to investment funds to look at the same companies that Horizons is looking at. So it would have been much harder to start without that momentum. But I think what we've proven in this short time is that it's a very valuable platform. It's a platform that the companies have been super happy with, the investors are super happy with, and it should continue. But for something to continue, you need to have investments into the investment platform too. So I think that's the next step to see if it's really up to the will of Norway or the Nordic countries. Is there interest in making sure that we keep this up?
Well, I mean, just based on the sentiment today and some of the people I've had a chance to speak to, they're definitely interested. So
I hope so. Let's see.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you so much for meeting me here today.
Thank you, Connor.
And for hosting this incredible event.
Thank you for
being
being
special
here.
to be a
Thank
part
you.
of.